All right. So good evening, everyone. Welcome from Schulich School of Engineering at the University of Calgary. We are very pleased that you're able to join us this evening for this MEng software webinar. My name is Srikant Nair. I'm a graduate program advisor in the MEng office here at the Schulich School of Engineering at the University of Calgary. This evening, I'm also joined by Dr. Jeffrey Priest, Associate Dean, Graduate Studies in MEng. We have Dana Miller, a Manager, Graduate Admissions. We have Tammy Wong, Employer Specialist, Engineering Career Center. So once again, welcome all of you to this webinar. Now, we'll move on to the land acknowledgement. The University of Calgary, located in the heart of southern Alberta, both acknowledges and pays tribute to the traditional territories of the peoples of Treaty 7, which include the Blackfoot Confederacy, comprised of the Siksika, the Piikani, and the Kainai First Nations, the Tsuut'ina First Nation, and the Stoney Nakoda, including Chiniki, Bearspaw, and Goodstoney First Nations. The city of Calgary is also home to the Métis Nation of Alberta, Districts 5 and 6. All right, now let us look at the agenda for this webinar. So regarding the agenda, we'll start off by hearing from Dr. Jeffrey Priest. Then I'd walk you through a bit of about our university, Schulich School of Engineering, and the MEng software program at large. Followed by that, Tammy Wong will talk about the MEng software internship stream, and then we'll have Dana Miller talking to you about the MEng software admissions. At the end, the floor would be open for the questions and answers, and then you can use the Q&A feature in this webinar, Zoom webinar setup, to ask all the questions that you may have. With this, I'm turning it over to Jeff.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to coming to this seminar. As Srikant stated, my name is Dr. Jeffrey Priest. I'm the Associate Dean for the MEng program and Graduate Studies. So it's my pleasure to welcome you today. Our MEng software is one of our MEng programs. It's been in existence for a number of years now and been very successful in people who are interested in transitioning from an engineering profession into software engineering, or for those who need to update your skills. And so it's a pleasure to have you here considering that. As Srikant said, we're at the University of Calgary. We're one of the top engineering schools in the University of Calgary, and be very we're very happy to welcome you here come the fall to start an MEng program with us. And so without further ado, I will hand back to Srikant so can give you all the exciting information, because I'm pretty sure that you won't be interested in listening to me too much. And so Srikant, just to people have been putting questions in the Q&A, and we will try to answer them in real time. But please, if you have any questions, please do ask, and we're happy to assist. Thank you ever so much, everybody, and I hope you enjoy the information that's being provided and enables you to make an informed choice, and hopefully see you here next in the fall.
Right. So thank you, Jeff, and we are grateful to have you here today. And now we'll talk about our university. So the University of Calgary was founded in 1966, and we have a total of 5 campuses. Our MEng program is on the main campus, which occupies a beautiful setting with a view of the Rocky Mountains, covering more than 200 hectares. That's an area larger than the Calgary's entire downtown. And we also have a downtown campus. Then we have Foothills campus, which is a hospital where our medicine school is located. In fact, Foothills Medical Center, as it is called, is the largest hospital in Alberta. Then we have Spy Hill campus, and we also have a campus in Qatar. We have 14 faculties with over 250 different programs, and we currently have more than 37,000 students studying. It is worth mentioning that we are proud about the fact that our graduate employment rate is 96.3%, with 81.6% of employed grads working in the fields related to their discipline. And our university ranks among one of the top 200 universities on this planet. And moving forward, The question here is, why choose the Schulich School of Engineering for your MEng program? The question why MEng at Schulich can be answered through the Schulich Engineering Edge. So to learn more about Schulich, the Schulich Engineering Edge comprises of the path to Schulich, education, work, co-curricular experiences, and the mental health and resiliency. I'll take this opportunity to talk to you more about the experiences that you'll be having outside the four walls of the classroom. So first and foremost, I would like to highlight our engineering expertise at Schulich Makerspaces. May it be a additive manufacturing equipment like a high-end 3D printing machine, or a subtractive manufacturing equipment like a CNC milling machine, or a water jet used for cutting. We got you covered in our makerspace. We also have some extraordinary experiences at Schulich Makerspaces. This includes our digital design lab, where we have equipments related to virtual reality, augmented reality, and mixed reality. Also at Schulich, we have significant focus on wellness, mental health, and resiliency of our students. And thus, we have Bill Rosehart Wellness Room. Our former dean, Dr. Bill Rosehart, was deeply committed to enhancing student wellness. In recognition of his dedication, the Schulich Wellness Space has been renamed the Bill Rosehart Wellness Room. This is a dedicated space in the engineering campus where students can connect and decompress between classes. Once you're here, you'll find a range of games and activities, from ping pong tables to shuffleboard and pinball machines to exercise bike desk. On top of this, we'll also have yoga sessions, including sleep yoga, meditation sessions, and coloring and board games. And the newest addition to this list are our office and the energy pods. So office pods are soundproof cabins where you can book a slot and take your Zoom call or do an online interview. And then we have energy pods. Energy pods are really cool. These are the nap pods where you can book a time slot and take a power nap to recharge yourself during the daytime. And now let us move on to the overview of the MEng software program, which is very specific agenda of this session. And MEng software program is a program that will help you stand out in a competitive job market and will take your career to exciting new heights. So MEng software, a course-based engineering program, is a specialization offered under MEng electrical and computer engineering. Since this is a course-based engineering program, you do not need a supervisor nor submission of a final thesis to successfully complete this program. So the degree requirements for this program entails completion of 10 courses. If you are an engineer with a software background or a computer engineering background, and 13 courses for engineers from other backgrounds, like, for example, geomatics engineering or mechanical engineering or civil engineering, for example. So additional 3 courses taken by the engineers in the non-software or non-computer background are basically the foundation courses that would be specifically ENSF 692, 693, and 694. And that would be scheduled during the spring-summer terms. So how it has been scheduled is, if you're an applicant without a software background, you start your classes by the spring term. And then you take your foundation courses during spring and summer, and then come fall, you join the other students who have a software background and then move forward. And we'll talk more about the overview of the program here, because there are recent changes that we have brought into this program, which has made it more exciting now. So with the recent modernization of this program, we are excited to let you know that starting fall 25, MEng software program can be completed in 2 years, like any other MEng program. To give you some context, till fall 24, this was structured as a program that must be completed in 1 year. That is, we are talking about 5 courses during the fall and 5 courses during the winter, plus foundation courses if applicable. That was a structure. And there was no option of a 2-year pathway. From now on, we have added an option to complete this program in 2 years. That is in 4 terms, as opposed to the 2 terms what we had previously. So the 4 terms would be your fall, winter, fall, winter. And you'll be having spring summer foundation courses if the situation requires that, or if it's applicable for you. And you also still have the option to complete this program in a one-year structure as we had in the past. The scheduled classes for the MEng software would be during fall and the winter terms, and the spring summer would be a scheduled break for the students. Now, as you could see here, the cohort size of the MEng software program is growing rapidly. And here are the few companies, as you could see here, in which Schulich software students have done their internships. And the testimonial that you see here is an example of the industry feedback that we have received on our MEng software program. This essentially means the industry is asking and Schulich is responding. And with this, I'm turning it over to Tammy to talk more about the MEng internship stream. Oh, Tammy, you're on mute.
Thank you. I always forget that. Okay, so let's talk about the MEng internship program. It's available now for MEng software students who are doing the 2-year software program in MEng. So what is the internship program for MEng students? Next. Okay, so the Schulich School of Engineering has long recognized the importance of work experience prior to graduation. So in the fall of 2024, the MEng internship stream was made available for students. This stream allows students pursuing a Master of Engineering degree to participate in a paid work placement between their first and final year of academics. The minimum duration requirement is 8 months, up to a maximum allowable duration of 16 months. This means that the 2-year MEng program will be extended by a year or so for the MEng with internship program. There's also going to be a number of required career workshops to be completed in the first term, in addition to the academic courses. The workshops will be available to all MEng students, but mandatory if you are in the MEng internship stream. These workshops are to assist you with finding an internship placement. We have a job board with internship postings available, but it's up to you to successfully land the internship placement yourself. Once placed, you will be enrolled in an internship course for each 4-month term that you will be working. These courses do not count towards your academic degree requirements, as they will not be included in the GPA calculations. In addition to the assignments for the internship course, a performance evaluation will be required. So a performance evaluation from your supervisor, which means if you are working for the 8-month work term, you're going to be enrolled in 2 internship courses and therefore requiring 2 performance evaluations from your supervisor. To apply for the internship stream, all you need to do is select yes on the application to the internship question. The internship stream spots are limited, and this program is competitive, so seats are not guaranteed. If you are admitted, you'll receive an admission letter for MEng with internship. And even if your application to the internship stream is not successful, you could still be eligible and maybe admitted to our regular MEng program. Okay, next. So it sounds like the MEng internship is going to be more work. So why choose this stream? Well, first of all, it gives you the opportunity to try out a company that you think you might like to work for and the type of work that you're going to be doing for a fixed amount of time. So at the end of that period, if you decide that that is not the company that you would want to work for or the type of work that you want to do, you can look for something else when you graduate. However, if during that period of time you find that that is the kind of company that you want to work with or the type of work you want to do, you have made connections now that you can leverage and potentially return there after graduation. You can also get a chance to see how what you've learned in school correlates to what's being done in the workplace. In addition to that, that experience is now going to be added to your resume, and it's going to help you be competitive in the Canadian job market. When you do internship, you'll get with internship on your degree parchment. Next. Okay. Once you're in the program, what do you need to do in order to continue to be part of the internship program? First of all, your GPA has to be above 3.0, and you have to be in good academic standing before you go on internship. And it's expected that you're going to be complete 5 courses by the end of April 2026. So during the job search process, you may not have completed the courses, but you will have registered for the required courses that are needed. You need to return to a minimum of 2 to 5 courses after completing your internship. So those courses will be needed in order for you to get your degree. That means you cannot graduate directly after completion of an internship placement. Back to you, Shikha.
All right. Thank you, Tammy, for that. And now I'll quickly walk you through the other opportunities that you'll having, as for example, a teaching assistant opportunity or the TTI as a transformative talent internship. So depending on requirements, departments will be recruiting second-year students as TAs or the teaching assistants to help the professors manage classes. Requirements for a TA position normally include a good academic standing, and applicants should be on track to complete their MEng in 2 years. From time to time, there may be other requirements as stipulated. Now, then we have TTI, a Transformative Talent Internship, managed by the Faculty of Graduate Studies. This is an option for students to do an internship who are not part of the MEng internship stream. TTIs provide graduate students with the opportunity to explore their transferable skills and gain professional experience in a work-integrated learning context. And the fundamental differences between TTI and MEng internship stream are: any graduate student at UCalgary can apply for a TTI as it is university-wide, whereas MEng internship stream is unique to Schulich. And for international students, TTI will not provide you any work authorization, and you will be bound by the number of hours that you can work as per your study permit. Whereas for the MEng internship stream students who are international students, you will be eligible to work full-time with a specific type of study permit that you could apply for. I do have a short video to share.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right. As you can see, we are a leading Canadian research university known for innovative research and commitment to excellence. With this, I'm turning it over to Dana to talk more about the MEng admissions. Over to you, Dana.
Right. Thank you, Srikant. Hi, everyone. My name is Dana Miller, and I am the manager of graduate admissions at the University of Calgary. I work in the Faculty of Graduate Studies, which is the faculty that oversees all graduate programs at the University of Calgary. I'm going to share a little bit about the application process, what's required, and what you can expect if you go to submit an application. So Srikant already touched on the difference between the two intakes for the MEng software program. Students will apply for the program for either the spring or the fall term, depending on your previous education. So if you've previously completed a degree in software engineering, you can apply directly for the fall intake of the program. But if you've not previously completed a degree in software engineering, but you have some other engineering background, then you should apply for the spring intake so that you take the foundation courses in the spring and the summer. So if you've reviewed the websites and information and attended our extremely informative session and you're ready to apply, I'll dive into the logistics a little bit of the application so you know what to expect. So on the screen right now is the path on our webpage to find the application portal. If you don't have the path memorized, you can also find it pretty easily by putting in graduate application process or something into the search bar on the University of Calgary website. At the very top of this page, there is a link to the PDF application guide. And this is very handy because it will show you what each page of the application will look like if you wanted to prepare ahead of time. You'll first create a username and a password so you can log in and out of the application portal if you didn't want to complete your application all in one go. And then during the application itself, you won't be uploading any documents, but you'll be filling out a profile for yourself, including which institutions you've attended previously, which degrees you've received, and then there's a page with some program questions on it. And the program questions will ask you things like for a statement of interest, a summary of your professional experience, and that kind of thing. At the end of your application, then you can pay your application fee and submit your application. And then after you submit, within 24 hours, you will get an email with your 8-digit student ID. This email will also give you all of the information and instructions for how to upload your documents. So your unofficial transcripts and your GPA calculation. So once your documents are uploaded, our admissions team can begin the review process. And these instructions for the document upload will also be how you're going to log into your student center. And in your student center, you'll be able to view your to-do list, so the items that we're still waiting for. You'll have a financial tab where you can print receipts. And there's this tab also, or a link, sorry, to view your application status and if there's any updates. All right, you can go to the next slide. The list of documents required for your application is pretty short. The most important documents we need are copies of all your official transcripts and degree certificates, if applicable, from all institutions attended. The second thing we'll need is your GPA calculation worksheet. As part of the application, in the program question section, you'll answer a question that has a link to the worksheet and the instructions for filling it out. So you'll be asked to complete the worksheet using the last 2 years of courses for your undergraduate degree to determine your GPA. And then after you submit your application, you will be able to upload this worksheet as one of your supporting documents. And then the other 2 items on this list are depending on your individual status. So if you have attended an institution for a previous degree program that is listed on the WHED website with English as the only language of instruction, then you are exempt from needing an ELP test. For all of the applicants, we would require an ELP test. And the tests that we accept are TOEFL, IELTS, Duolingo, and PTE. And there are a few other tests we accept as well. So if you want information about that, or you need help finding the minimum acceptable scores for each test, then you can contact us and we can clarify that for you. If you're a permanent resident of Canada, then we will need a scan of your permanent resident card, both the front and the back, and you can email that to meng@ucalgary.ca, and we will add that to your application for you. So all of these items are going to show up on your to-do list in your student center, and then we'll review your application once all of these items have been submitted, And if we need any more information or clarification, we can reach out to you. Official transcripts and references are not required as part of the application, but if you're offered admission, then after that, we would need your official transcripts. All right, you can go to the next slide. All right, so applications are now open, with the exception of the international applications for the spring intake for the program. They'd be cutting a little close, so those have obviously closed already. And then the deadline for the fall intake is March 21st for international students. And then for domestic students, the spring intake is still open for applications until April 15th, and the fall intake deadline for applications is May 1st. So we aim to revert decisions as quickly as we can, but we do receive a high volume of applications, so it's not unusual to wait a few weeks for a decision. We recommend that you apply as soon as possible, especially if you're a domestic student and looking to join for spring, since that's right around the corner. But we recommend that you apply early regardless, so your application can be reviewed with sufficient time to make any preparations that you need to make. And then we heard about the internship program earlier in this presentation, which is a new and exciting addition for the program. We do receive a lot of interest in the internship stream, more than we have seats in the stream to offer. So as Tammy mentioned, admission to that stream is competitive. If you're selected for internship, you'll be contacted via email with some additional information and to confirm whether or not you'd like to be admitted to the internship stream. Right, and you can go to the next slide. Right, so we do receive a lot of questions about the fees for the program. The fees for the 2025-2026 academic year have just been updated in the calendar. If you need any guidance to understanding the fees and the way that they're listed in the calendar, again, you can send us an email. But essentially, you'll be multiplying the MEng tuition per course, and it's listed per course in the calendar. There's a domestic fee and an international fee. So you would multiply that fee by 13 courses if you're starting in the spring and need those 3 foundation courses, or you would multiply that fee by 10 courses if you're starting in the fall and don't need the foundation courses. And that will give you an idea of what to expect for tuition. I will note too that tuition fees are subject to change each year, but that should give you a good starting point. Students in the program also pay general fees. The general fees cover things like transit passes, insurance, active living passes, and then there are also internship fees for those that qualify for the internship program. The MEng program is self-funded, and there aren't any general awards that are widely available to our students, or I should say generally available to our students. However, there is an awards database on the FGS website that is worth looking into. Again, it should be fairly easy to find if you plug those words into the search bar on the website. Only you know your unique credentials and background, and that might make you eligible for one of the awards listed there. So I encourage you to look through the database. There are filters and keywords that you can apply to narrow your search down and help you see if you qualify for any of those awards. All right, so that's it for me. I believe we're going to be answering some questions now, but I will turn it back over to Srikant.
All right, thanks, Dana. And now the floor is open for the Q&A, and we can try to answer all the questions that you may have. Please use the Q&A feature in this Zoom app to ask your questions. All right, I'm seeing a question here. I'm asking because I'm working full-time. So, Wakas, if you could give me the full question, I can probably try to answer that.
Hi, Srikant. I was answering some of the questions during the chat. One of the persons asked if they could do this part-time or full-time at 2 courses per semester. So I just gave some questions to that. And so for those who may not have seen that question, the question was, you know, how many courses do I need to take? Can I do it part-time? and so forth. And basically, the University of Calgary full-time is classed as 2 courses per semester. And so both the MEng can be done either, as Shrikant said, intensively in 8 months or a year if you have to do the foundation courses, but then you can also stretch it out over 2 years. So doing 2 or 3 courses per semester. However, there is also within the calendar is that you must complete the MEng within 6 years. And so there is a range of times that are possible.
And I'll just weigh in on that, Jeff, to say that in having a lot of conversations with employers, it's really important if you're planning on doing coursework and work at the same time to have a informed conversation with your supervisor before doing so. I've had lots of conversations with supervisors who are saying, you know, I regret letting my student or letting my employee go to school and work at the same time because their focus is not on work, but on school. So I would really recommend having that kind of conversation with your employer before you register.
All right, there's a question here from someone who applied in January, wondering when they can expect to have an answer to the application. We are working to get the results out as soon as possible. If there's something missing from your application, then hopefully we would have contacted you already. So just take a look in your student center to make sure the application status isn't that we have followed up with you. If that's the case, the message would be the program has been in contact with you about something we need and to please check your email. So if you don't have that message, then we should be getting back to you likely before, by the end of this month is when we're aiming to have all the decisions released.
All right, I'm seeing no more questions in the chat box here. So I'd assume that that brings us to the end of our webinar on the MEng software. And thank you so much for joining us and for our wonderful presenters here. And we really appreciate your time. And before we actually close the session, if you have any more questions that pops up in your mind in the future, feel free to reach out to us at meng@ucalgary.ca, and we would be able to answer all the questions that you may have. Okay, we have a question here. How much will be the tuition be roughly for 10 MEng courses? Dana, would you like to answer that?
Sure. I think that would be best answered by looking at the calendar, as I don't know your individual situation. But like I was mentioning earlier, the formula for that would be, to multiply the tuition fee per course by 13 courses if you're starting in the spring. So if you don't have a software background, or by 10 courses if you are starting in the fall. So I'm just going to pull up the tuition and general fees page in the calendar, and then I can paste that page or the link to that page in the chat. So you'll be able to check that out for yourself. There's a lot of clicking, so bear with me.
Yes, and for the person who wished to ask that question, it would really depend on your status, whether you're a domestic student, a Canadian resident, or you're an international student. It would depend if you have a software in engineering, or software engineering, computer engineering, or whether you have the skill sets so that you didn't do the courses. But the fees typically, and again, I think Dana is posted in the link. There's the two major things is, I think, for a graduate course-based situation for an international student, I think and I'm just trying to get to it, the Master of Engineering is $1,015 for a domestic student, and then 3,989 for an international student. And that's per course.
Yeah, so if you follow the link that I posted in the chat and you scroll down to where it lists the fees specifically for the Master of Engineering course-based program, you'll see the two fees that Jeff just talked about, and you'll be able to do some calculations there depending on your situation.
Okay. I'm again seeing no questions now here. So yeah, as I was telling, if you have any questions in the future, please feel free to reach out to us at meng@ucalgary.ca, or if you would like to talk to a MEng graduate program advisor, please use a Waitwell queue management system. If you look at the QR code on the screen, you could access the Waitwell queue system, and then you can either talk to us in person or virtually, depending on your preference. And we have one more question coming up here, again related to the fee.
Yeah, I'm not sure where that number is coming from. If you click on the link that I posted in the chat, and then you'll have to scroll down a little bit on the page to where you can see the second column is the faculty offering the course, and that is the Schulich School of Engineering. So when you get to that part of the table, you'll be able to see the fees for the Master of Engineering program. So if you are an international student, like Jeff said, that's 3,989 approximately per course, and then for domestic students, that's 1,015 per course.
All right, again, seeing no more questions. So I'm assuming that we have answered all the questions that we had on the chat here. And if you don't have any more questions, I think we are coming to a close of the session. And once again, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us this evening. And come spring or the fall term, depending on your background, we look forward to welcoming you here. Thank you so much, and have a good rest of your evening. Bye-bye.